In this podcast episode, neurologist and brain health expert Dr. David Perlmutter delves into the intricate connections between diet, lifestyle, and brain health, emphasizing the profound impact of sugar, particularly fructose, and inflammation on our overall well-being. Drawing from decades of experience and recent scientific discoveries, Dr. Perlmutter challenges conventional thinking about the separation of brain and body health, urging a holistic approach to living that integrates nutrition, metabolic function, and mental clarity. Dr. Perlmutter begins by addressing a persistent misconception in medicine and public health: the artificial division between brain health and bodily health. He explains that the body functions as an integrated system, where the brain is not an isolated organ, but a fundamental part of the whole. This interconnectedness extends beyond human physiology to our relationship with the environment and even the microbiome, the vast community of bacteria living on and within us that influences our moment-to-moment health and disease resistance. He critiques the reductionist view that categorizes diets as heart-smart or brain-healthy, as if these are mutually exclusive, highlighting that what benefits one organ system generally benefits the entire body. This systems-based perspective is essential for understanding how lifestyle choices, especially diet, influence chronic diseases and brain decline. A central theme of the discussion is the concept of food not merely as calories or macronutrients, but as a powerful information cue to the body. Dr. Perlmutter explains that throughout human evolution, food signaled environmental conditions such as food scarcity or abundance, triggering physiological responses like fat storage or fat burning. However, modern diets, rich in processed sugars and refined carbohydrates, continuously send misleading signals to the body, akin to living in a state of eternal summer, where the body is perpetually preparing for scarcity that never arrives. This mismatch between our Paleolithic genome and the industrialized food environment is at the heart of many chronic health issues. Our bodies evolved to thrive under relatively stable conditions, but the rapid introduction of high levels of fructose and other sugars has overwhelmed our metabolic systems, leading to widespread inflammation, insulin resistance, and metabolic syndrome. Dr. Perlmutter places particular emphasis on fructose, a sugar naturally found in fruits and vegetables, but now ubiquitous in processed foods, especially in the form of high fructose corn syrup. He explains that while small amounts of fructose consumed with fiber and nutrients, as in whole fruits, are manageable by the body, the excessive intake of fructose from sweetened beverages and processed foods overwhelms the small intestine's capacity to metabolize it. This excess fructose then floods the liver, triggering a cascade of harmful metabolic effects. One of the key consequences of fructose metabolism is the production of uric acid, a molecule that historically served as a survival mechanism by promoting fat storage, raising blood sugar, and increasing blood pressure to prepare for times of scarcity. This adaptation was beneficial for our ancestors during periods of environmental stress, but has become detrimental in today's context of constant food abundance. Traditionally, uric acid has been associated primarily with gout, a painful inflammatory arthritis. However, Dr. Perlmutter reveals that elevated uric acid levels play a much broader and more insidious role in chronic disease. Elevated uric acid contributes to systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, insulin resistance, mitochondrial dysfunction, and impaired cellular cleanup processes like autophagy. These effects collectively increase the risk of metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. He highlights that many people may have asymptomatic hyperuricemia, meaning elevated uric acid without gout symptoms, which still poses significant health risks. Current medical guidelines often consider uric acid levels below 7 mmol as normal, but research suggests that metabolic risks begin to increase at levels 5 mmol. Despite this, routine testing and early intervention for uric acid are not yet standard practice, leaving many individuals unaware of their risk. Dr. Perlmutter stresses that the primary driver of elevated uric acid today is fructose consumption, far more than the traditionally blamed purine-rich foods like sardines, anchovies, and organ meats. While these purine-rich foods and alcohol can contribute to uric acid levels, the overwhelming presence of fructose in the modern diet is the main culprit. He advises focusing first on reducing fructose intake, then moderating alcohol and purine-rich foods if necessary. He also discusses the importance of whole, unprocessed foods, including vegetables, fruits, and animal products that have not been heavily modified. Fiber-rich carbohydrates are essential for nurturing the gut microbiome and supporting metabolic health, distinguishing them from refined carbohydrates that spike blood sugar and promote inflammation. Beyond metabolic health, Dr. Perlmutter explores how chronic inflammation affects brain function, particularly decision-making and emotional regulation. He explains that inflammation disrupts the connectivity between the prefrontal cortex, the adult in the room responsible for rational thought and self-control, and the amygdala, which governs impulsive and emotional responses. This disruption leads to more impulsive, less empathetic behavior, which can exacerbate unhealthy lifestyle choices, creating a vicious cycle. Inflammation also impairs the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter critical for mood regulation, by diverting tryptophan metabolism toward neurotoxic compounds. This mechanism links chronic inflammation to depression and cognitive decline, underscoring the importance of managing inflammation for mental as well as physical health. Dr. Perlmutter encourages individuals to take control of their health by reconnecting with themselves and their bodies. He advocates for mindful eating, being present during meals rather than distracted, and making conscious decisions that consider long-term health and the well-being of others. He emphasizes that lifestyle changes, including diet, sleep, stress management, and physical activity, are powerful tools for preventing and even reversing chronic diseases. He also highlights the value of modern technology, such as continuous glucose monitors and home uric acid tests, which empower people to understand their metabolic status in real time and make informed choices.